Alright, hello everybody, here's Tuki from SPI and live from the SPI Startup People International Reboot Party. Welcome to everyone, welcome to the audience out there. We are about to start our speeches, and as we have written in the description in the video, we'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. We'll have like 3 people speaking in the beginning, now or soon to start, and then we'll take a break of about half an hour and description in the video. we'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like an hour and 15 video. We'll have like this speaking beginning. Now soon the start, and then we'll play about like
Collaboration office is at 7th floor. It's a little bit hard to get in, but I'll show you the way. And instead of explaining what the brainstorming session is, let me try to explain how I came up with it. It was about 2 months ago. I realized that like people and connections are the absolute most important thing, the absolute most powerful thing. And this is something I've come to realize gradually, both for social gratification and also for professional and academic growth. So I wanted to have, I'd had lots of, not lots of, but I had some short relationships with people, easy to get in touch with people in Japan, and easy to lose touch with them, with people in Japan, or I mean girls in Japan. But I can tell you more about this later. And I found out that now that I'm a grown-up, what I want is lasting relationships. I want to meet people regularly and not talk to them only once, but again and again. Because it's not possible to communicate everything in one meeting. And then I thought I also wanted to use my membership at Knowledge Salon because I pay Ichiman every month. So I thought it was a good place. And they also have dinners there. Unfortunately, you have to pay, but the dinners are quite nice, and they have beer as well. So some people have one beer, no more than one beer though. So yes, let's see. About 2 months ago is when I started, and we've met about 5-6 times in the past. And I've got some pictures here that I'd like to show you. There's no projector, so I thought maybe I could try to draw the picture. I took a picture of, let's see. Huh? Oh, can I turn it? Is it on the back still? Oh yeah, ingenious. So we got, let's see if I can do this. So we got the pictures here on my screen, and then this is the ceiling, like this. And then this is me, here.
I could tell that's you.
This is, thank you. And this is Rick, here. And this is Axel. He's over there. So he's standing like this. Pretty cool, huh? Of course, yeah. He's a skater. And then Joseph, nice guy who lives in Takatsuki. Unfortunately, he's not here today, I think. Pretty huge guy, so he's more like this, and in the pockets, like that. And then Ben, he's not here as well, also not like that. Whoops. Whiteboard marker.
Oh
this is not planned, but okay. But we've got the Gyochi-kun, right? So we'll do that later. So yeah, and so I'm getting a little nervous there. So the picture is going like this. Yeah. So, and this is the first session. And you can see this is exactly how it looks like. How is it? Isn't that good? Good. Is it? Thank you. All right. So you can look at the pictures later, because it's sort of communicate the atmosphere of it. People who come, or who I would like to come, is people with expertise in various fields. Anybody. But motivated and interested people. Me myself, I have a tech background, but I'm slowly trying to shift away from tech and learn all the other disciplines in the world, including business and humaniora, if you can say that in English. Let's see. Yes, I've said that. Only a couple points left, and I'll be done. So you should come there if you want to speak English, firstly, but not just anything, of course. And if you have a business idea or a side project or technological idea, any sort of idea that you would like feedback on, like to discuss with people, find collaborators perhaps, or just share it. And then all the details are on the Facebook page, Facebook group page. It's on that stage yet, but I might make an official page in the future. And I made a URL for this page, so you can find it easily.
Well, we can actually post the URL on our meetup page.
We can do that. We should do that.
We're actually collaborating, guys, and since SPI events will most likely once a month thing, I asked Ola,
Thank you.
very, very good facilitator and moderator, to host this weekly brainstorming session in conjunction with SPI. So yeah, again, if you guys are interested in just having discussions about like a possible business idea, you can just listen in to other members' ideas, and you can actually offer your inputs. So you don't always have to come up with your own idea, right?
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to say all this time.
It's friendly people. It's full of friendly people, and you get a really good brain workout through this. So I highly recommend everyone to attend Ola's weekly brainstorming session.
Thank you. Currently, it's on Tuesdays at 7:30. One little detail, though, at Knowledge Salon, you need to have a membership to get in, or you need to come with someone with a membership. So right now, there are not too many people with a membership, so you should call me, and I'll let you in. And it's very easy. It doesn't cost anything. So yeah, that should be it. Thank you very much for your attention. Should we take some questions in plenum? Any questions? Well, if you have some questions.
What is that?
This?
Is that a question mark?
Oh, this is one of our meetings.
Oh, okay. No, but what you're drawing down there.
Don't tell me you don't know the American question mark.
Oh, it's a question mark. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't know that. So.
Okay, with
It
some.
looked like something else. It was a snake sitting on a rock or something like that.
Yeah, so this is exactly how serious we try to keep the brainstorming sessions as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it for the first round of speakers. But if you guys want to just go on and talk,
Just quick announcement.
please.
Oh yeah.
Let me introduce
Okay.
myself. I'm from Osaka City Government, actually working for Osaka Innovation Hub. Yeah, Osaka Innovation Hub, in front of the Knowledge Salon. Same place, 7th floor. And I'm actually managing the Osaka Innovation Hub, whose mission is to foster the innovation ecosystem in Osaka. We are, promoting the entrepreneurship in Osaka or Kansai region. Anyway, in order to do that, we would like to have the variety of talents or skills from all over the world. And then also we are establishing our real market or transaction between the presenters, entrepreneurs, and buyers, like major corporation and venture capitalists, those sort of things. Anyway, we are holding almost, I think, the 50 pitch events in Osaka Innovation Hub. That is a kind of real trading or transaction marketplace. And then, now this is my quick announcement. We are going to hold a pitch event hosted by the Dutch government. We are collaborating with the Dutch government to send entrepreneurs in Japan, not only Osaka, but also all other rest of the place in Japan, to the final stage will be held at Singapore. Anyway, this is a real bargain pitch event because there is a little participants as a presenters. So kind of rate of the competition is very similar to seemingly low. Anyway, this is a kind of a joke, but anyway, we are holding lots of rich networking events after the pitch events. Of course, we'll have the very cool judges, as well as the the good type of people from Netherlands. Anyway, we are right now welcoming the participating this pitch event, as well as an audience. So please contact me if you are interested in joining this pitch events. You will have a good future by joining this pitch events. Anyway, We have lots of pitch events also. No, my dream is to make the city full of the pitch events for about 200 times or 300 times. Anyway, thank you very much.
Short question, just
Sure.
very stupid question, but what happens concretely on a pitch event? Like
Just presenting your business.
okay,
And then
pitch.
pitch.
And how long is the pitch?
This pitch events, I think 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
And 8 minutes.
English or Japanese?
English.
All English?
All English.
Get in the ring.
Get in the ring.
Okay.
Only
And
half
this
of
is-
it is in Japanese, right?
Yeah. But Dutch government has also the
Right.
Dutch web page. No, I'm kidding. English page.
Right.
Yeah, English page. Anyway, we would welcome you to join the ring. Get in the ring. Okay. I forgot.
Yeah, so guys, if you guys want to start business, Sakai Yoshikawa-san is the guy to talk to, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, you should talk to him.
Back to the drinks and food.
Absolutely.
Alright, cool.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to?
Oh yeah. If anyone else has anything wants to say, present, promote, whatever, yeah, feel free.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Oh, come on, Jonas. Come on.
I'll do it.
Ah, see, we have a volunteer here. Jakob, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, please.
What's your name? I'm gonna improvise because I met Ricky maybe 1 week ago accidentally in a bar. I was talking to a Lufthansa pilot about me cleaning hotel rooms, but I'm actually a PhD from Finland and trying to find a job here in Japan. It's been really difficult, so it's kind of interesting to hear what people are saying. I have difficulties finding a job because mainly I'm a researcher that helps elderly people. And I don't think this works, so I'm just going to put it here. Oh, unless you are doing this online. Okay. Streaming people, yes. But anyway, shortly, I'm a PhD from information processing science area. And my focus was on elderly assistive technology. So elderly people have problems using technology, so I try to simplify everything. I would like to probably do more research, but it's difficult to find in Japan. Research positions are hard to find. So I'm thinking about companies. So user interaction and usability is my interest at the moment. I'm not a good programmer, but if you have any positions related to good, like user testing stuff, then I'm your man.
Or this could be a great opportunity to talk about what kind of business ideas we can form to utilize his talent.
Yeah.
So he specializes in figuring out the interactions of elderly people, right? So specifically, what type of interactions, like
No, there's multitude. When you get older, you start to have problems with eyesight, hearing, and then like arthritis or something, trembling. So you need bigger icons, and you need devices.
Okay. So not only
design.
like visual interaction, but the physical interaction as well. That's what you're studying.
It's two-way. It's physical and mental. So you cannot learn new methods of interaction easily. So you have to kind of design something that's intuitive. We or everyone in this room, if you see a smartphone, you know how to use it because you learned it over time. But elderly people used devices long time ago, and they don't know how to use it when they meet a new device. It's not exactly clear how to use it. Do you press an icon for a long time, or do you tap it? Do you tap it twice? It's not really clear. So that's what I learned when I interacted with elderly people for many years. That it has to be super clear. Like you have to design it so simple that anyone that picks up an item understands it immediately. And that's a really, really hard job. Not even Apple, who's like usually applauded for being like super awesome company for intuitive stuff, doesn't really get it.
Yeah, I can also speak from my experience too. My grandpa had a stroke a couple years ago, and he's a tech savvy guy. He's 85 and he has an iPad, and he asked me to upgrade his Windows every single time I go to his place. Yeah, like he asked me to upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10. I go, Grandpa, like you don't need to upgrade. It's like, why do you want to upgrade? It's like, no, I want to have Windows 10 because I hear it's better. But anyway, it's like iPad, right? So he has an iPad. You think that's very easy for everyone, even old people, to use, but not for him because since he had a stroke, his he can't. His fingers are twitching. His hands twitching a little bit. So he tried to press an icon, and he pressed the icon next to it, or when he needs to tap and hold the icon, which is easy for all of us to do, he can't do it because his fingers keep moving. So that's an example of like designing something that's completely different for people who have disabilities or who are
exactly.
old, and their motor skills are not as the same as we think are normal. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great field because there's tons of elderly people in Japan, and their quality of living is suffering because of lack of infrastructure that's really designed to help them. So I think it's a great topic for like little idea discussion. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Of course, because I'm an expert. Yeah. But I think Japan is at the worst level with elderly people population thing. So everyone is like getting older, and then there's not enough younger people. So eventually there's going to be a society flip. It's going to be really bad. Yes.
I just had a question. So like, because you're like experienced in this field, do you know if a lot of the elderly people that you work with often take pills or forget to take their pills?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. There's different levels of memory degradation. So I work with dementia and people with Alzheimer's, and then also like regular elderly with memory impaired, like cognitive impairments. And normal aging always presents some kind of forgetfulness. So my mom always says like, I have dementia. No, you don't. It's just normal. You're just getting old. That's normal. So that presents one of the huge difficulties of design. So even though you explain something a few minutes later, the person doesn't remember. And person with Alzheimer, level 3 or 5, you explain something and 5 seconds later they don't remember. So I think we can't assist elderly people with like huge amounts of dementia or some kind of memory problems. We have to focus on assisting people before they become, so that they learn the use, and then later on it's already in their brain, so they know how to use it. That's really important.
Okay, I was just curious because one of my friends designed this like Internet of Things pillbox, and so it has like Bluetooth, and so it connects to their phone. That can remind them when to take a pill without them having to remember. But it sounds like maybe the ones with extreme dementia still wouldn't.
My system was if you put the pillbox on the table and the camera sees it and the projector sees it, I mean the camera sees it and then the projector displays something next to it. So it's, if you put the pillbox on the table for the camera to see, it tells you, did you take it or did you not take it, or when you should take it. So it's a system that tries to be inside the house and exactly try to remind you to take the pills. But it's just one single problem that I should probably focus on. But my research was a bit larger, so I didn't do that. Anyway?
Could you say a couple more things about your background?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm Jaakko anyway. I'm from Finland, and I started my PhD in 2008 in Finland and related to the elderly thing is. And then over the years I came to Japan. We had this double degree program with Nara Institute of Science and Technology. I don't know if many of you know it, but it's a special university. So I went there for 2 years to do another PhD program, and I studied augmented reality, which is in Nara, yeah. Actually in Ikoma, but it's in Nara Prefecture. And I graduated in Finland last December, but I'm still waiting for my degree from Nara Institute. So before my PhD, I did a master's on like elderly problems also, but kind of, if you know Microsoft SenseCam that you wear on your chest, you walk around all day and it takes pictures every 10 seconds. And if you review the photos, you kind of remember better what you did during your day. So that was my previous thing.
Speaking of dementia, let's talk about that subject because in Japan there are so many elderly people with dementia, just walking out of their house one day and never to be found again. It's not that they go completely missing; they're often found, but they're found in like in a prefecture next to where they're gone missing. And I've been told that police have problem with information sharing. There's no centralized database. So let's say if I get lost if I live in Osaka, if I go missing in Osaka Prefecture, and if I get found in Kyoto, oftentimes there's no information sharing. So there's no way for my family to know that I'll be found. It's a huge problem. I think this will be a great topic for us to try to come up with a solution to the problem. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Maybe? Yes?
I mean, I just know that there's a lot of like bureaucracy in like the Japanese government and
Right.
workplace and things like that, so I think that's probably the biggest.
Right.
maybe
But
biggest.
I mean, like trying to change government is trying to get a mountain to move. So that's why we are here. That's why we can come up with solutions as citizens, as individuals. Do you guys have any ideas?
So the whole elderly population growing, the depopulation in Japan is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And also the workforce is like getting smaller and smaller. Women aren't working in the workforce. And one of the big reasons is because of children, correct?
Yeah.
So because there's no effective childcare, the women are forced to stay at home and they can't have a career. I hope this isn't going off too much off topic because it's more of a service than a product. But like something that uses children's time interacting with elderly people, because if you keep the elderly people engaged, I believe that helps with dementia. If they're engaged with other people, if they're alone all the time, that's where dementia starts to set in a little bit. I'm not that aware of dementia. But
Yes, it's true. You're totally correct. So you have to keep your brain occupied, and I think interacting with people keeps you better and better.
Right.
So I think technology is not the only solution. So I think there's two ways. Like technology can assist, but also the community can help. So if there are people around the demented person, they can like share the workload by taking care of the person. So it used to be, I'm not sure if it's true in Japan anymore, but you used to take care of your parents.
Yeah.
Is it still
No,
what
unfortunately,
happened?
that's
So
not the case anymore, especially in countryside. Fortunately, what happens is that people from countryside, they often move to big cities like Osaka or Tokyo to look for work, and they find work. They find their partner, and they have family, and they kind of settle there, and their parents are more or less abandoned. Not completely, obviously, but obviously they can't take care of them as much as they would be able to if they were living in the same city. So that's one of the major problems for getting family to be involved in taking care of elderly.
But if I start talking about this topic too much,
Yeah, but
it's
that's
gonna
a
take
great
forever,
standpoint.
yeah.
So, like, what can we do to engage elderly people more with the rest of society?
I might be derailing from the main topic going on here, but I think take advantage of your specialization, and also to get elderly people involved in society. And society now is like almost all the society, over 50% of communications over the internet. So I think one thing you can do is using your specialization, help elderly people get on the internet. And that is basically one idea I have is to design sort of smart peripherals, helping them to like use it easily. So there are a lot of problems in software for elder people. For example, small fonts and small screen. But there's also a problem that the device itself, it's not easy to hold for elder people. And if you're older, I think your fingertips get kind of dry, and even when you touch it, it doesn't detect your finger. So I think, I don't know, probably for something very light, like something that you hold your device easier. Yeah. And one way to do it is, for example, you can use crowdfunding. I think that's only sort of valid or there's a place you can use to get money for your idea. Yeah. And for example, if you design the product and you put the idea on the crowdfunding website, and to get money, I think you need to do real promotion. So to do that, you can talk to NPOs, and if you are, I'm not sure if you speak Japanese.
He speaks fluent Japanese.
Oh. And so you can directly talk to NPOs. I think there are a lot of NPOs who support elderly people. And NPO do not mean they are poor. They have, some NPOs have a lot of money. So you can talk to them and you can get backup from them, and probably designing universal design product would be one thing you can try. I mean, you don't need much investment, 2 weeks of your time, and I don't know, if you need part-time people to call up NPOs, less than June.
Yeah,
you can try the idea.
Yeah, that's definitely a great suggestion. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's try to focus on less about like, okay, how to make this into an actual business idea, or how to get this working. Let's just come up with a bunch of ideas, and once we come up with good ideas, then obviously we can definitely talk about making it into like a viable business. But you know, I want this place to be like open discussion place to talk about different ideas, and yeah, see if you can come up with a good idea.
I was a little bit curious about like the elderly in Japan. Is it kind of like in the U.S. where there's like a lot of nursing homes, or do the elderly just kind of live in like maybe like in their own home by themselves kind of thing?
No, it's both.
Okay, because I know in the Netherlands they have like a special program where like at least in the nursing homes, a lot of the elderly living by themselves, have their loans and things like that, and so they provide these extra rooms where like college students can come like hang out with the elderly people for a few hours.
Yes.
They get like free rent and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool.
I think it's really cool. I read the news in like United States and some other countries where students can live with the elderly, and it activates their brain.
That way they can interact.
But Japan has different level of elderly homes, so it might be smaller where the staff is more available. It might be bigger. There's of course the Japanese bureaucracy involved. So I think if you want to call it a care home, you have to have a doctor available, like real doctor. So you can't have care homes. It has to be labeled as a hospital. And testing, for example, my system was super difficult, so we went to Finland to test the system and just flew back here and do the results online anyway later.
how does Finland tackle this problem? I assume every developed country is starting to have this problem of disproportionately large elderly population.
I think they pour a lot of money, but they kind of think about it in a short-term goal. I'm looking at a few, like 20, 30 years into the future, but the government is looking way, way too little. So they think about maybe 2-3 years span of time, like how do we spend it. But
what kind of initiatives or programs is the government or the private sector doing to take care of the elderly in Finland?
it's kind of the same as in Japan. So there's so much. where to start?
Just a brief.
Free form idea. I think they are trying to come up with guidelines on how to tackle the problem. But the problem is that we don't have the money. So where to get the funding or where to get the healthcare people to assist. I'm trying to tackle how to reduce the workload of the caretakers and also assist the elderly. But the government is just worried about the funding. At the moment, I think it's going down. Like healthcare is going really down, so less and less caretakers, more and more elderly. So I don't think anyone has a solution at the moment. I can easily reply to any politician or any news article like why it's going to fail or why it's going to succeed. But no one at the moment is listening to me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, interesting.
This idea may or may not be stupid, but for the sake of brainstorming, just say what if there was an app which there's a chat interface where you speak to the app, and using AI it auto replies to what you say to it. So if an elderly person speaks to an AI chatbot and gets responses in return, would that be activation enough to
Might be, yeah, because repetition is kind of normal.
Yeah.
So some of the dementia people, they go to the neighbors to chat over and over again.
Yeah.
So if they would have an application that replies to them over and over again, it might help. I think it's an okay idea. I had one idea where one nurse staff does remote assistance. So one caretaker, caretaker is like the, anyway. So one caregiver remotely assists multiple elderly. So it kind of divides the workload. But if they are not available, I was thinking maybe voice assistants or something that automates the stuff would be kind of cool. I don't know.
Well,
we can continue the talks.
that was a great starting point to get the discussion going. So yeah, that'll be the end of the first mini session. So I'll give a round of applause. We're going to take a half an hour break. So just keep eating, drinking more, and then we start with the second speech session. Thank you so much.
I don't know how many times you are supposed to bow.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, well, we still have some pizzas here and drinks, and feel free to trade, right? Before they get ice cold. So to the audience, this derailed a bit in a positive way. We are out now for mingling, basically, having some pizza and drinks, and we'll tune in about half an hour again to close this session. Thank you very much for watching.